have your eyes on today's schedule right now. Geek versus TLID. The battle of Fabian versus Makeits AE, Alter Ego. After winning it out against TLID in a very surprising fashion yesterday, now they're up against RRQ, the #1 in the standings, and BTR versus Onyx. My goodness. What do you have to say about that, Gani?
I mean,
Virgo? What do you think?
Fun fact, right? Onyx, leg #2 is undefeated, so
Ooh.
I'm not nervous for today.
Ooh. And Dewa United Esports and EVOS right now, they're down about 2 and 3 points from Onyx that's currently clinching the playoff spot, but anything can still happen, especially in Season 15.
Most definitely, and especially considering that Team Liquid ID and Onyx currently are not safe. Liquid just lost their match yesterday, which means they have not qualified for playoffs just yet. You need 9 match victories. There's one step away from achieving the playoff spot. Onyx, a few more steps for them, right? They need 2 wins here to get to playoffs. For EVO, hoping, Dewa as well, that Onyx continues to lose all their games. Geek Fam, Alter Ego, even Bigatron at this point. Like, as long as these teams don't make it to 9 match wins, they still have a shot, they still have a chance. But for Dewa, it really comes down to just Onyx. For Dewa, they can't reach 9 points. They've already lost 9, they can only reach, I think they can only reach 8 then, or is it 7? I think for them. Because you have a total of 16, so I think for Dewa, they can only reach 7. So that's why they can only hope that Onyx continues to lose all their matches, and then Dewa win all theirs, and then they probably will win it with the game aggregate points. Because even head-to-head, Onyx has it.
Yeah, it's not a fun time when your fate is in someone else's hands. But this audience topic voting though.
The old Season 14 neutral objectives at the start, they're not the same, clearly, from Season 14. They're not as comfortable letting go of neutral objectives. They're a team right now that feels more comfortable fighting for neutral objectives at the start and getting the lead at the start.
Good stuff, especially we saw Aaron Chica's trend moving forward until that point. Then they lose out against Alter Ego, but we're back again with TLID versus Geek Fam right now, who claims the second spot. Now the first spot for the upper bracket is, you might think it's comfortably for RRQ. It's still up in the air, but mostly it's going to be for RRQ. The second spot though, Gani, I believe in the standings earlier, it was like 8-5, 8-6, 8-5, 8-5 for 4 teams right now.
So it's still anybody's game, all right? RRQ, it's almost confirmed that they will be likely to get that upper bracket slot. But let's see here, it's still all game for that second one. Is it going to be Geek Fam or is it going to be TLID who has an edge to get that final upper bracket slot?
Sorry, just coughed there.
Hey, as an analyst here, neutral, there's no BTR in this matchup, I gotta say, I would choose Geek Fam. After their performance yesterday, especially, TLID have looked very off. I think mainly, yes, we can bring in the fact that they're not as comfortable playing for the mid game, letting go of neutral objectives, playing for their win conditions, but sometimes, especially in game #2 yesterday, they just don't have a win condition. Like, their drafts have been pretty abysmal. I have no idea what's going on behind the scenes for Liquid ID. Maybe they're still experimenting, but it's clearly not the time. They got to get this match win first before they start to experiment even more. If they think upper brackets is not going to be for them, it's not available for them anymore, then sure. Experimentation, trying to figure out what formula works best later on for playoffs would be great. But as of right now, as of yet, sir, they've not qualified. And EVOS are still hoping for these teams to continue their lose streak.
And upper bracket is such an important thing in MPL ID because you might say that when you get to the playoffs, everyone's chances is the same. But so far, historically, it's always the upper bracket teams that clinch the championship in every season. But back to audience topic voting here. What should Geek do to take the second playoffs ticket from a TLID? It looks like most people say play aggressive in early game, just like what Alter Ego did yesterday.
Yeah, I agree with you, Miracle, right? But let's see here. Iran needs to step up as well, I feel like, in this game. And that's an EXP. That's tough.
I think he's been given really bad picks. Aran.
Yeah. Like usually, Phobias, maybe?
Yeah, I agree. Go back to the Phobias. Go back to the picks that actually lets Aran be Aran. This guy was known for the badangs, even the high-lows and gacha-gachas. You know, when he's able to just play make for the team, when he's able to create opportunities for the team, he does really good. But then you put him on heroes that just get countered, heroes that get smackaroonied up top in the XP lane. He loses out in that lane and he's unable to produce results. But on top of that, I think mainly it has to be the trio mid that gets a comfort pick. Witty was put on a Boxer roam. That's where I think the big issue lies. That was a pretty bad pick, in my opinion.
Oh, we'll take here from Mirko, but this is also bold as well. Makeits and Nile. This has been a debate. Who is the better jungler for Geek Fam in their debut season? Is it Nile or is it Makeits? Recency bias might sway you towards Makeits, but when you remember what Nile did for Geek Fam, qualifying for M5, that's just huge.
Yeah, I think right now anyone who says Makeits is either looking at the potential or is biased to what they've seen right now. That recency bias plays a big part into why you would choose Makeits, because again, historically, achievement-wise, Nile is definitely still the best Geek Fam jungler to date. He was able to help the team go all the way to the M5 World Championship, second place in MPL Indonesia, and making it to top 4 of the M5 World Championship. I'm sorry, at top 5 or 6. It was up against Blacklist, they lost, but Makeits definitely has a shot to actually surpass Niall. He's been amazing on all the assassins, on the Fanny especially, and the Suyo, which are the two top meta picks right now. The Joy he hasn't been performing as well on, but you can definitely see the killer instinct plus the calculations from Makeits. It really is stellar.
The mechanics are definitely there for this kid, and yeah, I do believe that I think finally for Geek Fam especially, they won't change their jungler next season. Hopefully they can keep this kid and again build what Beloy and Niall did, perhaps go into international. If not this season, perhaps next.
By the way, what's Makeits' status right now for Geek Fam? Is it
status?
Loaned?
No, he was bought out.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, so no more issues with loan players just like Niall in the past. Geek Fam, they have fully acquired Mr. Makeits. They have Makeits in their arsenal to use for as long as he can play.
Meanwhile, maybe we can shift our focus to the gold lane because both of these teams, they have two pretty special gold laner, right? Aaron Shiki, obviously proven, and M60 was amazing. But Kyo also stepped up to kind of like be this, in a way, rival in team for Aaron Shiki. Meanwhile, Kenziski for Chidera, that's also a talking point. Like, so, as a gold laner player yourself, Mirko, like, what do you think?
From the old Chidera ways of, kind of disappearing, getting the mental blow when they're up against big teams. He's faced that before, he's gone through that problem, and now he's battle ready. For Aaron, I think, for Liquid, I think Aaron's a better choice.
We're gonna have our answer right now. It is still Aaron Shiki, the untouchable one, with Aran, Fabian, Yehezkiel, and Weedy the Wise in the roaming area. The cavalry is here to walk through the land of dawn.
After suffering a loss yesterday, the Calories will look to change their form, will look to find their rhythm today. With Aaron Shiki in the lineup as well. Will that come to fruition? Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Team Liquid Indonesia.
They need to figure it out. Indonesia was the keyword that time gone in because they are the representative for RC Games next one. So if they're getting better, it's better for Indonesia too.
But if they're getting worse, they're getting beat down. It's a big question mark right now, and I think the pressure is definitely on their shoulders. They feel it too, representing the nation, but also having to secure a playoff spot in MPL.
Meanwhile, for Geek Fam, it is going to be Kenziski on the goal lane. They are looking to experiment just a bit here in this dire state, or key state of the season. Week 8, they're fielding the rookie.
Wow, Kenziski so late in the season. I'm not sure about this, but we'll just see what BBB has planned.
Well, it's going to be very interesting to see him going up against Aaron Shiki in that gold lane. But ladies and gentlemen, this is Geek Fam.
It's trouble when the smiley jungler is not smiling. He's stoic right now. Oh, he smiled. Never mind. But he's here to take the W from TLID and secure that playoff spot after RRQ.
This is a risky move. This is a bold move from Geek Fam to actually play Kenziski to still be... I thought they found their best lineup. I thought they found their best 5. Now I'm pretty confused. What seems to be the plan here? Because they haven't secured playoffs just yet, and I think they are still looking for upper brackets. This should be the choice that they made based on the performance of the scrims. This should be the better choice then.
Or maybe they're confident with Kenziski and try to hide some cards with Chidera. I don't know if that's... Maybe I'm reaching too far, but you never know what BBB and Blovesy and TSP has in mind right now.
They have a shot for upper. You just mentioned how important upper is. Don't switch up that quickly, Sheffin.
Hey, you gotta take the positive away from anything.
Okay, no, I think this... Because I spoke to Beloyski. He told me that between them, 2 weeks ago, Chidera was the better one. But Kenziski in scrims early on in the season was doing amazing. So maybe, just maybe, you regain his confidence. And we're going to talk about this assassin duel again in the new boy on the block. Rookie Man versus the Jonin. Proven, tested, even at the World Championship. Number 2 jungle total kill, number 2 jungle total turtle. In terms of stat Makeits is lacking behind against Fabian. But I think in terms of performances, Fabian has been the more shaky one, surprisingly. It's been Makeits who's been more consistent, who's been more stable. Fabian has been looking for a lot of these flashy plays. He's been trying to recapture what he was able to find last season.
Exactly.
And I think he's forcing it at times, looking for these big plays constantly, not able to have the correct calculations like he did previously. I think yesterday the big miscalculation was jumping on the Hijime, but not checking the itemization. There was a Winter Crown in there. As a Hayabusa, Shadow Kill and Winter Crown, and he got caught.
So the boy is just trying to clip farm because he got a lot of farm last season. So perhaps now, just focus on the game. The smiling jungler, though, I mean, I really like this kid's potential, and hopefully we get to see that happen. If not soon, perhaps later.
Just sooner or later.
I'm hoping he's gonna stay for Geek Fam for a long time because I feel like there's mutual, enjoyment from both parts, playing for Geek Fam having Makeits also, and becoming the icon of Geek Fam. Because so far, it's Beloyski, Apoy, Chidera. Those are the Geek Fams.
Yeah, that's
the community.
I think the immunity, indeed. But if we're talking about Fabian here, I think it's quite unfair to say that he has been the only one being inconsistent because he's been placed on traps that I feel just don't enable him as much as they did in Season 14. Remember, in Season 14, the reason he was able to perform so well was because he was placed on Ling, the entire team plays for him. Ruby Gold, Angela mid, they would play for Fabian. But now it's kind of like they want to carry in different roles. They all kind of want to be in the highlights. They all want to looking for those TikTok moments. It's not just Fabian anymore. Even Witty, he's known as Witty the Wise. He's not known as Witty the weird picker. He's not BBB, you know? Lubukan Baloy, picking up the Gatot Kacha randomly last season. Baloy made it meta. Hellcurt Rome. That's not Witty. He plays towards his comfort. The Gatot, the Hylos. He even doesn't do too well on the Tigreal. But whenever he gets a pick that's comfortable, he's able to make those clean shot calls happen for the team. And that's what's most important as an IGL right now for TLID. If they want to secure playoffs, they got to stick to what works. Leave the experimentation for after you secure playoffs.
At the same time, I agree with you, Mirko, but they've experienced Onyx Gears. They've experienced...
Makito would be covered for a while there. All right, as expected, it'll be Jusin. Did not expect a Moskov. I thought they would pick a jungler much earlier. But with the Joy open, with the Fredrin open, it's weird. If you pick Joy, then the enemy team will pick Fredrin. If you pick Suyo, enemy team will pick Joy. So it was kind of like a lose-lose if they go for a jungler. Maybe Haya would have been the safest one.
Seems like now it's going to be jungler second phase kind of approach. And Geek Fam, last pick here. Do they want to open the Dong role quick, or will they flex it still? Because then you can just pick up the mid laner, pick up the mage here.
I mean, jungler is still an option too.
Exactly. I think that's the best pick. I like it. I was about to say, I think the Suyo would be the best choice here. Yes, you will have to give away the Yve pick. That would have been a great pick against the Jusin. But the fact that TLID now can't respond with a Joy means that the Suyo is great. Remember, Suyo is still very much in the meta. The only reason we don't see it as much in the first phase is because usually there's a Joy on the other side. There's a lot of magic. Take away the Joy, it's only a Jusin who's more of a utility pick over damage, and now the Suyo gets enabled instantly. Great ban on the Joy right as the Suyo gets picked up. Now TLID are the ones in a tough spot. It's going to be quite difficult. Because I think Geek Fam will just try to lock the junglers down. I think Hayabusa's coming up next.
That's an option. It worked against a Ranger, but right now, for TLID, they need to somehow deny some of the picks from Geek Fam. Mainly from Baloyski. But it's going to be a Yi first, an easy counter for the Institution. I'm kind of surprised that they're not putting any kind of like attention towards the Cho, or maybe like some of the counter pick towards the chip that brought out by Witty, maybe like a Tigreal.
Yeah. I think it's because of the Badang. The Badang, the reason it's also first picked here, it's because it's a great flex pick between the two, Gobs and Baloyski. We've seen Baloyski, if he doesn't get the Cho, lean towards the Badang. And because they don't have the Moskov, we don't usually see the Cho without the Moskov, with a Granger. We usually see much more of like a initiator heavy, not really a pick-off or screening hero whenever they have a Granger. They just want to play for what they have right now. Exactly, that would be a great shout. Badang, Gatot Kacha. As expected, Hayabusa fanned out.
I think TLID, they realize that they have compensation though, right? Sure, they lose on the jungler picks, potentially, but they have two heroes that can teleport, right? You got the chip, you got the Moskov. It's practically their theme is teleportation in this game.
Oh man, some good options for a boy has been banned, so I think right now they need to kind of focus on how to get this Moskov and Jushin down. Maybe like something like a Farsa works, but at the same time, against a chip, it's a bit hard for you to, maybe with the Wings by Wings, it's a good option for a boy.
Sicilian Carmilla. If they really want to go for it right now, right? The Sicilian will be great. You have the Ranger, you have Peel with the Badang and the Suyo, and then you get tankiness with the Carmilla. They go for Sask. Okay, that's a different method, but it has worked. This has been a way to beat the Jusin. I like the Sask.
It's much more reactive, and reactive heroes are a boy's specialty with the Faramis also, and now Zask is being brought out. And so far, I believe this is only the second player that used Zask this season after Sway, though?
I believe so. Right now, we've only seen a few Zask players, and yeah, I think the only one before this was Sway Lo. Okay.
TLID, what did they go for here?
Right. What do they go for?
Jungler to at least be on par on that farming pattern.
Lucas. The main counter to Naruto, to Sasuke.
Wow.
Has to be Naruto.
I really like that because so far,
I agree.
Out of all the picks that Geek Fam chooses, there's no like real tank shredder.
Yeah.
And it's hard for you to pretty much deal with this three frontliners from TLID, and it makes Moskov's job a lot more easier.
That's why now it actually does become quite a problem for Geek Fam.
Yeah.
Because there's a life there.
It's annoying.
It's very annoying.
It's annoying.
It's an all-in type. Geek Fam are going to have to kite away back and forth. Great Valentina ban to set up for this.
Why do they not pick up the Gatot Kacha at that fourth pick?
I agree. They go for the glue, which isn't a bad pick, by the way. Baloyski's on Badang.
Oh man, I'm not the biggest fan of Poloski Badang is going to be overloaded too with the frontliners from TLID, but let's see though, he is BBB for a reason. Gonna pull off some miracle, but his potential is a bit limited right now with the Badang.
Here's the catch for Liquid ID. They have a very good early game, but only if they enable Lucas. If the Lucas doesn't get a snowball going at the start, if the Lucas gets shut down at the start, it is an easy game for Geek Fam. So that's what we're going to have to pay attention on. Ladies and gentlemen, turn number 1 will be very big value for both teams. Geek Fam want to shut the Lucas down ASAP, and TLID want to get the Lucas rolling ASAP.
And it's time to stake the second spot in the playoffs with the King of Kings. Will it be the Cavalry or will it be the Fams? To secure that one, it's TLID versus Geek Fam.
It's round 1, ladies and gentlemen. Let's make it good. Let's make it good. Engage.
No way.
Fabian stunned up. First blood. Witty flickers out. Geek Fam. They get the early double. A knocked up though from Yeheskiel. Boy will now be able to. Oh, good flicker on that. But it's going to be a 2 kills for Geek Fam. Early one.
That is not a Weedy and Fabian kind of like play, especially in the early game. They are doomed right from the get-go, Mirko.
We were talking about how the early game was going to be important. Badang killing Beloyski at the start of the game is not that important unless Badang actually, walks up and gives it to you. This gives Geek Fam a way to not go for the neutral objective and still be on the winning end of the trade.
See though, Geek Fam, they want to fight. Immobilize, that's going to be AOG cancelled. But that's going to be Arondo still taken down. In the back lane, it's going to be Beloyski.
Oh my
that's
god!
Going to be damage from Makes and Gobs. Enough to take Fabian down. Witty has no flicker. Geek Fam knows about this. That's going to be Witty isolated, and that's going to be the teleportation though. Perhaps TLID, they want to turn this around. Makes will fall, and TLID actually damage controlling.
Yeah, despite them picking up though, I think a different story. I think TLID will know what to do at this time after the mess up in the first one. And mind you that Geek Fam is one of the known teams to just completely let go of the objective when they are not really in the advantage. But that's true. Looking at the economy, Geek Fam has some fighting chance.
I mean, it looks like they're the ones controlling it right now. Gobs spread already. Good control for Geek Fam.
5 men already committed in the Turtles area. TLID though will send Aaron Shiki top lane and perhaps using the SOD. If it connects, then yeah, they will fight. Let's see though. Geek Fam will commit on towards the turtle. Aran AOG, make kids perfectly timed on that turtle. Aran though now, he is stuck. It's gonna be Aran Gobs. Both teams.
Whoa.
This is actually, again, really good for Geek Fam. They were able to bait out. Makekids was in the mid lane, and now they get a turret to trade it up top. Meanwhile, they don't give anything back.
And Beloyski watch out, SOD Kensiski.
If he takes it, he's in big trouble. Oh, never mind.
No,
he's recalled.
He's playing with Fireman. Even in the last game with Alter Ego, some questionable but eventually successful SODs by Aaron Shiki. But looking at the in-game equipment miracle by Dunia Games, what do you see?
Well, really quick War Axe, honestly, for the Suyo. First item, Rush. He's on the way to the Hunter Strike next here. And yeah, the fact that he's 1,000 gold ahead means that it's going to be really good. The thing is, for Lucas, okay. They're going to look for a siege in the mid lane first.
Let's say 2 members just defending. Witty from the flanks finds Kensiski. Shortcut not committed just yet. It's still on cooldown. At this point, it's still just 1,000 gold between them. So 1v1 jungler.
Witty.
Shortcuts for members definitely will be enough to take Makids down. Geek Fam, what do they look for? Witty again with the conceal in the mid lane around. Very low on AOG. Defensively, Fabian from the flanks. Finding 2 members. SOD lands on Yeheskiel. That's a stun onto his Kensiski. But that's Witty. Not enough damage to take him down.
That's a lower accurate Naruto for you. Killing Sasuke in the end.
Great value. Great teleportation by Witty. That's more like it for TLID. Compared to the early game skirmishes that just felt really too messy, too scrambly. Now they're back to where they want to be. This is where TLID wants to be at the start of the game with Turtle 1, but it kind of got delayed with Turtle 2 being taken with the 2 kills they had to give away. Now they're back. I was about to say, the thing is about Suyo compared to Lucas. Lucas is very much team fight based. Like, you need to look for team fights to get the lead. Suyo can play in the side lane, can control, can, utilize that mobility, the 2 flickers that he has built in his kit to get the farming advantage, the XP advantage. We're seeing a little bit of that despite the 2 turtles that Fabian has taken. Makids is still comfortably ahead. But TLID are doing a really good job now, again, with the macro power, the side control, with Aaron Shiki on the Moskov.
Yeah, I feel like when you're trying to deal with the silence for Geek Fam right now, the only possible way to kind of like anticipating, gotta watch out first.
Will they commit to this fight? It's just Aran though. Seems like Aran has enough range to get out of that.
Witty.
Geek Fam in the mid lane, AOG Kensiski very low. Still survived though. That's gonna be Beloyski. Finding 2-man stun, no follow-up. It's still 5v5 now. Glue mounting Fabian. Aran falls first. Geek Fam, they reposition. Witty. What? Questionable engage there. Will be punished. 2 members from TLID got wiped.
I don't know, man. Witty, like, you're the wise, but you're my boy too. But I feel like right now we have to take away the moniker of Witty the Wise.
Whoa! They can force the fight again. Mid lane will fall. TLID finally backing away.
Some questionable things that we done this game, Mirko.
I understand, in a way. They don't want to give mid-tier 1 for nothing, but it wasn't going to be for nothing. It was at least going to be for a holy defense down below. TLID are really misunderstanding, and they're really misunderstanding their win condition, it seems. Again, they have the control, they have the advantage when it comes to side lanes, but they're not using it as much. Yes, they got a tier 2 down below, but there was no reason for them to fully commit into a team fight where, again, Geek Fam have built their composition around. They built their composition around playing with these team fights, waiting for the shortcuts to come in. That's why they went for the Zosk as well. The safer choice compared to Sicilian, because you can just get in, hide in your shell, and do damage. 1,610 gold ahead for Maykids. That's going to be massive. The guy who's right now in the spotlight, really looking for the flank. Kenziski is 1,000 gold behind, but he's hit the item power spike faster than the Moskov, because Moskov is very expensive. With him.
The concealed good cancellation, Maykin finds it. Tur Lord. SOD lands at Gobs very low. He's stunned up now, a boy figures out. Gobs now will be sacrificial lamb. Oh! My goodness, good stun. That's gonna be Heskiel collecting the kill. Fabian falls as well. Yeah, Heskiel is on a rampage, getting the double. That's gonna be TLID. Somehow finding more on the board.
They find more right now, but the debate of whether that was worth it for Geek Fam depends on how they use this Lord. Currently, they're down about 600 gold lead. Lead that can be chased in a flash.
Again, most of the gold is on the hands of Aaron Shiki, it seems. The guy who's just been farming up a storm. A level ahead against Kenziski, and it looks like they're going to be going for the Lord here.
This is the right call. Maykids looking for an engage. Lord now, practically 50% HP. Aaron Shiki will make sure that the Lord spreads down. Yeski finds the right connection, and Aaron Shiki goes down. Yeski now very low. Kenziski finds a shutdown. Baby and damage control. Fine Bam will look for more. They still have the super minions in play, but that will be Geek Fam again with the trade.
And there you go, that's the answer. Courtesy of Beloy's keys. Brilliance, man. I thought the potential of this guy's gonna be stripped in half with not using the Cho, but on the Badang, he's still as dangerous.
Shortcut, Maykids still has a dash. In the shutdown.
Great shutdown for TLID, at least a bit of recovery. But again, Geek Fam got all the value in that skirmish. I gotta give props to the Suyo, by the way, Maykids. The way that he's been playing in these team fights, really well played up against the Lucas. He's just been waiting for the cooldowns. Once Lucas used skill 1, it becomes a pretty vulnerable pick. Usually, in the Suyo versus Lucas matchups, the reason Lucas is able to outpower Suyo is because of the CC immunity and the displacement of skill 1. That cancels your hold down Soul Sever, that cancels your hold down Blade Surge, and it makes it really difficult to just skirmish. But if the Suyo has a few frontliners to take that damage to bait out those abilities, he can just come in and clean up, just like what we saw at the same time.
For sure. It really depends on how these players are executing it. When you are Prime Onyx, you can do that, but right now, TLID, they're not on that level just yet. And they need to get to that level because they are the representative of Indonesia, Widi.
Shortcut. That's going to be all of the members from TLID. Joining forces. That's a good stuff, though. The boy goes down. Maykids finally joining the fight, but perhaps might be a little too late. With the concealed Widi, look for something. Fam, they know they are man down, and I think this is going to be an opportunity for TLID to really commit on the Lord.
It's a big opportunity, but right now, Widi's trying to just zone on some of the members away from the Lord. Aaron Shiki, Stir of Misery.
Let's see, 5v4 still. Geek Fam there, looking for an angle to perhaps penetrate. Again, looking for the angle, looking for the right opportunities. That's a stun on towards one. Gobs again. Maykids finding the kill. It's a 4v4 now. Gobs very low. Yes! My goodness, Gobs! He shredded down. Kenziski though will find the trade. And Geek Fam, they will this time move on towards the Lord.
Usually you say Lubukan Maloy. This one is like Lubukan Sans. Yes, kill.
Widi. Oh my goodness. Shortcut is there though. Aaron Shiki will find the trade. Rover for Rover. Kenziski, sharpshooter. He will find the kill. Aaron Shiki though jumps back in. Desperate plays made. Desperate calls. And Geek Fam, they will find the wipeout and the Lord.
Scratch the Lubukan Sans. At this point, Lubukan Liquid, they are not playing like Liquid ID. They're playing a different game entirely. This is uncharacteristic for TLID. For Geek Fam as well, to be honest, but it's working well for Geek Fam. They have really just outplayed TLID in every step of the way. Or have TLID been the ones to outplay themselves, making these highlight plays? We kind of foreshadowed a little bit of that. We were talking about how everyone wants to look for those TikTok highlight plays, but this is another level entirely.
Is this a TikTok server by now? I don't know. It's right now. You said Goni, desperate measures. I don't know what to say. But they're not desperate at all.
Yeah.
They have a lot of leeway to play around with the Lord, but they're just ignoring it. Meanwhile, Fabian, top lane.
Let's see, 1v1 jungler this time. It's oh my goodness, respect it. 1v1 and Maykids finds the kill. Geek Fam now 5v4 with the Lord. Without the Lord this time, they still have chances. 2 base turrets down. TLID only have a base turret to play with. So he lands onto his Kenziski. Hiroshiki this time will take it slow. Charge it. Oh my goodness. Damage is definitely enough to take Weedy down. Kids now looking for an angle. Hiroshiki does the job to clear the minions. 10 seconds. Geek Fam will look for the turret. Positioning. Ladies and gentlemen, for the second time in this game, Geek Fam has wiped TLID out.
I think TLID wiped them by themselves. They're just handing it on a silver platter to Geek Fam. Hey, here's your win con. This is how you win the game. Please capitalize on it. I don't understand. This is not Team Liquid ID in Season 14. Wait, difference.
A ridiculous turn of events. Geek Fam take game number 1. And it was a stop. Was it a stop? I don't know. I don't know how to categorize that game. Yes, they took control. Yeah. That was messy. That was not the best game to watch, definitely to analyze, but it was sure as hell entertaining. And Geek Fam were definitely the better team to do it.
See, I like when Geek Fam is winning, but I don't want them to win this way when TLID is just, you know what this reminds me of? You know that meme where someone's riding a bike and they have this stick and put the stick in the wheels and it just fell. What's the... They lost the plot.
They did. They really did, because...
You're speechless.
I truly am. That's why I'm telling you, this is not really the best game to analyze, because there's not much. It was just a lot of bad moves from Liquid. I think the worst call was still the early game fight. Like, why the hell would they... I don't think Liquid would have ever taken that fight. We don't get to see it in the crucial moment, but I truly believe the crucial moment was that first fight, because again, it relied heavily on... Okay, it was up there when it comes to like bad moments.
He got a kill, but...
Weedy lost his immortality. Yehezkiel got a kill on Gauss, but... I'm quite speechless, honestly, but still...
This is...
They were just, again, chasing and chasing and chasing over for kills. But the first fight, why would they all in on a Badang in the mid lane when he's safe towards his turret, you know? And then that kind of gives away turtle number 1, because again, remember, for Geek Fam, they don't need to contest Turtle 1. Yes, it would be great for them to shut down TLID and win out early game, which they did because of this fight. But I think for Geek Fam, they were going to play for the mid-game power spec anyways. Like, there was no rush for TLID to build the snowball. They could have just played around neutral objectives with the Sacred Beast, with the Ninetales. But they decided, you know, the Ninetales, let's use it just to brawl out. And I really don't like the usage of the Ninetales here. It was the initiator. On a Lucas, it's not good to be the initiator. Because especially against a team with this many movement skills, with this many sustainabilities as well, you're not able to burst anyone. And when you do, you've already used all of your Sacred Beast duration, and that gives Sasuke time to clean up. Here again, you get to see it, right? But at this point, it was kind of a desperate play. But you kind of see what I'm getting at here. Kenziski with a nature, great choice, and then it just all fell for Liquid. Ladies and gentlemen, Liquid ID, this was a very non-Liquid performance.
They're solid in a bad way. And look at this, look at the item buy.
Yeah, the rose gold.
You got the rose gold and he's a dog.
Dude, Makekids is so good at video games, brother. That's how I can describe it.
The fast fingers. And he's certainly smiling by now with the result that he's gotten.
He's tough, so I'm still very speechless, I'll be honest with you guys. I don't know what to say. I guess Yehezkiel Impure Rage was an odd choice as well. Usually we see Brave Smite, but he wanted to get more mana so they could stay in the fights longer and he could pick people up longer. Yeah.
Props to Kenziski as well.
Yeah, props to him.
He only got taken down once. I think his positioning is impeccable this game, and a lot of 1v1s, he won that.
I gotta say, I think it's more about TLID not really using their engage quite well. Even Iran,
fair.
I feel like, I don't know, man, when you're playing in a band, you know, you're playing a music instrument, sometimes you're really excited to play the instrument, play the music, but this time around, it looks like Iran's just playing, you know what, let's just get this over with. I don't see the enjoyment from Iran, I don't see the love. And with that love, it cannot be seen.
Ladies and gentlemen, here, I got stats right here, all right? I want to talk about the stats a little bit, but you take over first because there's a few benefits. Okay, here, wait, sorry. Witty, on chip.
60%.
Played it 5 times, this is going to be his 6th time playing, and I think now it goes...
Kan beli di mana? Bisa beli di Shopee atau Tokopedia buat online-nya sih, Kak. Dan kalau misalkan kalian males nih ke MPL Arena, itu kan bisa di online. Kalau misalnya lagi di sini bisa di booth Geek Fam di depan MPL Arenanya.
Oke, jadi bisa di e-commerce kesayangan kalian ya, bisa langsung aja diakses. Dan ini kira-kira ada merchandise apa lagi sih selain jersey ini?
Selain jersey juga ada varsity, lanyard sama aksesoris lainnya yang bisa kalian check out di toko online Geek Fam juga gitu. Dan banyak diskon menariknya juga tahu.
Dan banyak diskon menariknya juga.
Yeah.
Wow, seru sekali. Tapi ngomongin soal merchandise-nya nih, ada nggak sih benefit yang bisa didapetin sama teman-teman Geek Fam Unity kalau misalkan beli merchandise-nya?
benefitnya sih diskon sih yang pasti ya. Diskonnya banyak dan macam-macam jenisnya gitu.
Oke, nah kalau ngomongin soal kesulitan dari Geek Fam Unity, teman-teman ada juga ngadain watch party nggak sih dengar-dengar?
Di watch party
Untuk nonton bersama nih, nonton bareng-bareng sama teman-teman yang super fansnya Geek Fam. Dengar-dengar ada ya beberapa kali ya di kampus-kampus ya. Oke, ini menarik banget dan pastinya nih kita sudah melihat nih di game yang pertama Geek Fam tampil prima dan kalau dari kalian prediksi skornya berapa sih?
2 dong.
2-0 ya.
Iya.
Oke, kita akan melihat apakah itu bisa terbukti dan apakah Geek Fam akan lolos ke babak playoff. Jadi boleh kasih semangatnya dulu dong, silakan.
Semangat Geek, pasti juara. Once a Geek, always a fam.
Once again ke West Fam dan pastikan dukung terus tim kesayangan kalian. Dan kita akan kembalikan lagi ke para caster. Silakan caster, take it over.
Back again with TLID first. Versus Geek Fam. Sorry, I was kind of allergic with the way TLID played just now.
Whoa, I thought that was I thought that was a real cough, bro.
Weedy and around there, they're my boys. But like, bro,
I agree.
that was something that we need to talk about.
All of them are my boys. But I agree. I gotta agree with you. That was really bad. That wasn't just questionable. That wasn't just weird. That was bad. They gotta go and, you know, they gotta just get, I think,
Something
the new
awesome.
Samsung Galaxy S25
Yeah, they
Ultra.
might want to check the phone. Maybe they're not playing Samsung Galaxy S24 series or S25 series. Because when it comes to gaming, the latest Samsung Galaxy S25 series is the real champion, you know.
Championes, just like Liverpool.
Real champion? That's disgusting. This smartphone is incredibly powerful for gaming thanks to the Snapdragon 8 Elite 4 Galaxy processor built on 3nm technology, making it the fastest processor ever in a Samsung Galaxy device.
Check it out. Oh, you want to use the Gemini fact? Here. I'll show you.
Please.
I can. What do you want me to ask? The AI.
Who is going to be the champion of Season 15 and why is it Geek Fam?
Gemini, yo, who's going to win MPL Indonesia Season 15?
And why is it Geek
Who's going to win MPL Indonesia Season 15 and why is it Geek Fam? Just a sec.
It's currently week 8 of MPL Indonesia Season 15. Predicting the winner at this
Oh
stage
my
is still
God,
very
I just saw
difficult
the-
as the regular season is ongoing and playoff brackets are yet to be determined. Teams' performance can fluctuate and surprises often
Listen.
in the playoffs. However, based on the current regular season standings as of today, Saturday, May 17th, 2025. 1. RRQ Hoshi is currently in the top position with a strong match record of 10 wins and 2 losses. 2. Bigatron Esports holds this.
There is all. That's all. Thank you. Thank you, Gemini. No.
The next answer.
Alter Ego and then Geek Fam.
Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe the AI needs some work. Just kidding. It was objective, astute conversation.
Yeah.
So you
observation.
guys, I mean, you can just buy now and just visit Samsung.com/ID or scan the QR code right there, all right? Just have more info. We'll guide you. Click the link in the pinned comment. It also works, or find it on the YouTube description.
Who do you think's gonna win? Who do you think's gonna win MPL Indonesia?
Ooh.
You think it's Bigatron? Yes, I agree.
Next time, ask who got the 4-peat in MPL IDs.
I think that's irrelevant.
In MPL.
at this
Yo,
point.
who has the most MPL Indonesia trophies?
We're waiting?
No, even Gemini is like, dude, that's irrelevant.
Yeah. They don't want to...
Sweet. Shadow and Erbang. Shadow and Erbang.
Ooh, Shadow.
Yeah, shout outs to Wolf for no reason.
Yep.
Yeah.
Looking at the win rate here, first pick selection, still, I believe,
Yep.
for
For Liquid.
TLID. So, right now, it's 45%. Not really the best, but obviously there's a lot of chance for them to be able to extend this to game number 3 because, yeah, back again, it was execution that's the main problem. But shout out to Bolowski in that game, man. I feel like he knows the win con in the early game to mid game really well, especially with Batang. His capability is a bit limited in terms of like mechanically, but he knows he gotta guard Kanziski, he gotta guard when Weedy is about to shortcut there, and he did a wonderful job at it.
Are we going to see the same draft again, is my question. Because
Oh.
TLID and Geek Fam, they're known to go for the same draft again if they lose. They might just make some micro adjustments here and there in the second phase, perhaps, but usually in the first phase, it just stays the same. And again, it's not like Liquid ID went for a bad draft. It wasn't like they fumbled the draft. The draft was pretty good, in my opinion, unless you guys think otherwise.
I think draft-wise, somehow I feel like it's a little bit greedy with the chip and the Moscow, but I do understand I guess the composition still works with the Jushin, with the Naruto, with the... But yeah, Naranchi keeps struggling in that game to provide the impact.
I mean, so far,
Especially Iman displayed a wonderful Moscow yesterday.
all you gotta say Eman, man. You don't want to give this guy a fuel to post.
Hey, man, he knows who's best.
Well,
It's going to be the same draft as expected. Now, the question is, well, that's part of the draft so far. Chip, same draft.
It's gonna be the same. I'm telling you right now. Pelosi,
Badang,
and Granger.
First 3 picks, I think it won't change.
Or maybe they just want to go Suyo first, if that's...
I don't think so, because they go Badang, Granger.
Oh, yeah,
TLID go Suyo, they go Joy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if TLID go Joy here, then Geek Fam will probably go Fredrin. They have ways to beat anything, like in the jungle. Except Haya. Haya will be the safe choice. Oh, wow.
So no Moskov.
So my question is, will this be a Joy? That'd be a Yeet.
I think...
Time to drop the
Be Joy. There you go.
I was gonna explore the possibility of Fredrin being picked there, and they just play around the Fredrin because they have this really good long-range damage dealer in Kanziski, but they choose to go for the Joy, and it worked wonderfully, I believe. I don't know which game was it, when Kanziski was on a Claude.
Yeah.
But this one, the diving potential is gonna be a bit limited for Geek Fam. You might wanna put another one in their draft to pair up with Naked's potential.
Yeah. Ben Moskov and I think Irithel. I don't think they were going to be too concerned about the Claude pick here. But for Liquid, it'll be the same, Yves. But this time, I don't think they're going to be banning out the Valentina. I think they're going to ban out the Zask.
Right. You reckon?
Yeah, the Zask was a big problem. Up against the Chip as well, right? You teleport in and the Zask can just dominate. He can hide in the shell while doing damage.
But at the same time, Aboy wasn't really a big factor.
Really?
In that
he
game,
was.
right?
He got so much value out of that. Just again, not dying, dealing damage consistently, and going for those stuns.
I guess.
The hunter of all
No, he
the
didn't.
evil gods.
So they ban Iran.
Yeah.
I think they can go Gatot this time. Pick first pick. Geek Fam, yeah.
I agree. The Gata will be of immense value. They can also just go with the glue again, honestly, because the glue is still really, really good. There's no Faramis threat on the other side. Oh, they could go Faramis. Okay, the glue gets banned out. Geek Fam can go Faramis because they're up against a composition, that want to fight. And Faramis is going to be great, and they don't have a Yves to counter it. They already have Yusin. They can't go Valentina, it seems, here.
Or they might want to pick on the XP here just to deny Iran's potential.
Yeah,
because the
they can
mid lane
go
has
Gato
already
first.
been picked by TLID.
I agree.
And there's a lot of option for a boy here. You said it. You can go Valentina, you can go Zaz, you can go Faramis. A lot of
I like
really
the
good
Vex
options.
last pick. Though.
Vex?
I like the Vex last pick.
Ah, I mean,
Interesting.
it's a way to counter the chip.
It's good utility.
So you go Gatot here, add more
CC.
layer, right? Add more layer to that crowd control.
Not CC, please.
Possible or potential engage as well with the AOG, and adds a rock.
It'll be the Zask.
Same approach.
Yep.
You're picking Zask in 4.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I think this
Right.
is right now a better draft because at least in the early game it won't be as stompy stomp. Won't be as big of a stompy stomp.
But now it's a bit harder to chase Fabian. But the objective for Zaz is just to stay alive. Damage, you leave it out to Makits and Kanziski at the end of the day. Now, what's going to be the nail of the coffin here for TLID? They have a pretty good way to engage here. They will still want to go for... Oh, Moskov is bad.
Yeah. Safest choice is Irithel.
Oh, Harith is
already
banned.
They go Bruno. And they go Gatot Kacha. No glue. What do they go for then? In Roam or XP? I think this game, they can actually go Cho this game if they want to. Last game, you can't really target the jungler because there's anti-CC immunity. This game, you can go for it, but they go for the Hylos instead, which is a safer choice, I guess, because there's no real reason to put yourself in a dangerous spot. Okay, just another tanky boy.
It's a horsey against a horse. Fabian versus Makits. Round 1, it was Makits all the way, Fabian. As you mentioned, Mirko, it was a Choco game. 3-7 and 6 KDA. Not really the greatest bout between Sasuke and Naruto. Not lore accurate, which is quite sad to see. Let's see though, in this game number 2, is the script gonna be flipped?
They have a lot of damage, a lot of magic damage that the Suyo will be vulnerable to, but somehow counter index and lineup rating favors TLID. I'm guessing the chip is going to bring a lot of value to this game if they can get those early skirmishes.
Execution is the name of the game for TLID. This time, they drafted, can they execute? Can they play this to the maximum level? Can they go back to the standard of Liquid Season 14? It's game number 2 of TLID versus Geek Fam.
Jump into the Land of Dawn and let's see for round 2. Will TLID take us to game 3 or will this be a clean sweep?
Mind you that Geek Fam is 1 game away from the playoff spot.
Yep.
To fight it again in Jakarta International Velodrome. And don't forget to buy the tickets if you haven't got it.
Secure a spot in the Jakarta International Velodrome is the potential of both these teams. If Liquid win, they're going to be the ones securing it. So it's of massive value for both these teams. Oh, Aran already rotating early on Maloy.
Flicker is there. TLID this time, they have repaired their early game, I guess, skirmish.
No longer as greedy as they were before, going for skirmishes. But it seems like it's still A-okay because Geek Fam still have a way to contest for the neutral objective. Like in the previous game for TLID, they really wanted to get the neutral objective. Turtle 1 was a lot of value, was really like up there when it comes to getting their win condition online. But in this game, Geek Fam can actually contest. There's no Lucas, there's no anti-CC there, so they can block the Suyo, especially with this heavy CC comp that they have.
Oh, make it for a potential engage there. TLID though, very tight in their formation. And yeah, still first bloodless in the first minute.
Yeah, Gops on a high elo. So far, 3 games this season with a 67% win rate. And with the objective coming up, they'll try to get the ultimate as soon as possible. And that's going to help Geek Fam's potential to take this one. Wolski though, pull the trigger on Tweety.
Spot steal, that's a stun. Makis joins. TLID, they will
Brawl server.
There you go. This was what TLID really needed in game number 1, controlling the neutral objective.
Nice.
But, as you said, nice. Not just for the audience prediction, but also for Makis, who's able to go and take the purple buff away, stopping the snowball from happening. This will equalize a bit. It'll be better for Geek Fam now, because for TLID, it's still a win. Obviously, they got 3 kills, more kills, and the neutral objective. But this equalizes things a lot more than you think.
700 gold lead for TLID. 2 kills is the difference so far. A much better early game for TLID. Can they capitalize on this turtle number 2? Coming in about 2 minutes, Kanziski already secured the Hunter Strike. That's a pretty good power spike to use in the first objective fight. It was a 50-50 in the first one for Geek Fam, but they just fumble it a bit.
Yeah. I think the big problem for a lot of teams who rotate their XP to mid is the fact that, yeah, you want to get level 4 on both your XP and mid lane, but a lot of times it's just miscoordinated, man. A boy didn't get level 4 yet. He didn't have level 4 when the turtle was started, and that's why they couldn't really force the fight. They had to delay it a bit.
He's cutting.
He is.
Just 5v4 right now.
For the Suyo. No more magic damage reduction. It gets really, really tough to actually up against an all-in of a full magic damage. Well, it's not full magic damage, but 2 magic damage dealers on the other side. So for Geek Fam, it's back to plan B. Plan A didn't work out the early game. Now they're going to be looking to farm, as TLID are the ones who have plan A online. Now it should just be a slow build. They don't need to force anything like they did in the previous one. They can play it slow and match that mid-game power spike, because I think it'll be pretty good for them too.
And right now, Fabian is just taking the bottom lane turret. This is what a chip does to your team. You can be pretty much everywhere in the map and catch up to the team fight. Privilege that Geek Fam does not have right now. Wolski. Conceal play didn't really convert. No conversion to anything.
Slow build for both these teams. TLID have a hold on the neutral objectives. Geek Fam will try their best to try to split and look for trades at this point. I wonder if they're going to contest for the next neutral objective.
Oh no.
It does look like it's going to be...
Make it's going to die in about 10 seconds.
Unless he reads it well. Oh, he's going to go in.
Let's see. In the bottom side, there's Witty hovering around. He shows, and that's going to be a clear. Wolski though, stunned up.
Wow.
Damage will not be enough. AOG will force.
Bruno and Jusin, who was low. But remember, Suyo has 2 blinks. Yes, he doesn't take as much magic damage as he did before. He can't soak in as much magic damage as he did before, as he could before. But he can still blink out from all the damage.
Yeah, and it helps that he has tenacity as well, knowing that's going to be the prime target for Makits and pretty much all the dive comp from Geek Fam, Kanziski, and also Gops bought the... Whatchamacallit? The red thing? The Rome Boots, I'm sorry.
Favor?
Yeah, not Favor. The one that boosts your attack speed and also...
No, hold up. It's going to be... Okay, doesn't look like they have those boots.
Oh, they bought it.
Oh, hold up, Lloyd. That's a flicker. Onto Aaron Cheeky finds the connection. Damage will come through. Aaron Cheeky goes down. That's going to be Geek Fam disengaging before the Lord. 5v4. And Aaron Cheeky, 20 seconds down.
How do they always find these angles, man? Wolski, what was the call? This is the signature Wolski call, man.
It's because there's no Purify.
Witty?
Find an angle. That's a taunt. That's an immobilization.
Hard for TLID to break through from this one because they have a lot of wave player potential here. Kanziski, a boy. It looks like they got the mid lane turret easily.
Heskil has the Sky Piercer. That's the damage. Oh. He's thinking about it. He's thinking about going for